back working on the 72 Mach 1 Mustang. Where I left off with it, we got all the outside body work put back together. Still waiting on the hood. We got the lower valence, I guess you call it, or spoiler on the lower lip. Now we're working on the interior a little bit. I'm going to put the headliner in. As you see, I already got the sound deadening padding in. Back there in the back where the sail panels at on both sides. And cleaned the interior out. Got all the trash and some of the trash and garbage out. So here's the new headliner. What I'm doing now is installing the rods inside of the fabric here. Kind of trimming back a little bit where they will go up in the roof. It has these little holes. Guess we can. Has these little holes right here in the roof. I kind of marked them with a grease pen where they go. And they go on both sides, and the rods stretch across and hook in. Now the important thing I did, I labeled the rods from front to back because the way the roof is made, some of them are shorter than the other ones, and if you don't get them back in the roof right, the headliner will not be flush. You have a lot of wrinkles in it. I made that mistake on the 73 Mustang I got and didn't realize that the roof, the rods for the roof were different lengths. Actually, when I got the car, I didn't have a headliner in it. The rods were kind of through in the trunk. Now they say that these rods are color coded, which they are, but some of them the color might be faded off. Like this one right here is pink. And you can look it up and find out where they go. I think this one, see the color is faded off of this one. Let's look on this again. There's no color. So they're supposed to be all color coded, and according to the color code, that's how they go back in the roof. That one, the color is missing. So over time, that color will come off of them. So this is my second time installing one of these headliners in the fastback. So hopefully it turns out better than the other one. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these rods in the material, and we'll get the headliner installed. We got a glue on these fastbacks. The rear part of the headliner glues to the window frame up here at the top. I mean, you can do it with the glass in it. Maybe glue it somewhere else. I have seen it done, but since we had the glass out, we're gonna do it the factory way. Now some of these, the glass glues on the outside of the windshield frame, but this one had some glue. I don't have my light. Had some glue along here, along this edge right here, and it was glued up under the trim. So I kind of went through and cleaned a lot of that glue off. It stopped at the very edge right here. And it had that trim that goes across that holds your sun visors. So I didn't want to fool with pulling that glass out because you'll break it. It's a good glass. And luckily I didn't, because we don't have to pull it to put the headliner back in. you do have to put it here. It folds around here, and I have seen guys do it. They glue it up here on this rail right here, but we're not gonna do that. And also it has these strips where it hooks on each side. It's got like little teeth on them that'll grab the headliner, because the headliner don't come all the way down. There's a sail panel that runs and screws in where those little brackets are sticking out. So we'll get it in. Hopefully it'll be nice and flowing smooth. On the sides here, it glues to this metal, wraps around, glues here. And I think you also can, I don't think you put glue on this edge. It goes on this edge. And then you have your drip rail moldings that go up there, which we got those. Nice and painted black. What's the other one? That's the outer one. I think, no, that's the inner one. This is the outer one that goes on the outside. So I'm gonna get this thing all set up, and we'll get it in there, and hopefully it turns out right. So I got the headliner in, and we got a couple of wrinkles right in the center. I'm gonna have to try and work out. I just finished steaming it, and still kind of wet in some spots, but I might have to take these moldings back loose on the sides and stretch it out. But I put the new sun visors up there just to get the holes lined up for the screws and where they're supposed to go. I don't think we'll have to stretch it at the front. So hopefully we can work some of these wrinkles out. I'm not too worried about the sides and the back, because there's covers that covers all of that where those tack strips are. So once the sides go in, it'll cover up all those tack strips. But we just have to work on this side. So we'll hit it with steam. But we can go ahead and put the back glass in, because we don't have to really mess with it back here anymore. The top of this headliner wraps around the window frame. And we got the new window seal. Got the glass all cleaned up. Daniel Carpenter. That's the Ford part number. So we get that on the glass, and then we gotta get it in there, and then we got to get us some sealant, which I got some window well stuff. Urethane windshield sealer. We got to get that inside of that seal. Now when I did the yellow car, I put it in, I folded the seal up, and I just went on the inside of the seal lip all the way around. So we got to put some here, because these are bad about leaking if you don't get them sealed right. And I did it the first time, and I had some leaks, so I had to re-pull it out. And because you can get it back out because the seal's still new, and I had to put some more sealant, especially around these clips, the clips that hold your trim you need to, after you put the sealant on, you need to go ahead and set these, and they won't move on you when you get ready to put the trim on. And that's the way I do it. I don't know the way anybody else does it, but these fastbacks can be tricky. So we got some tape here so we won't get glue all on the paint. I might come with some more, but that holds the little windshield clips or trim clips. I don't know what I did with the new ones. Here's some there. I think they're in the box. That's the rear windshield and rear window clip. These are some leftovers I had, but I bought some more. They're just some little, I don't know if you can see them or not, they're just some little metal clips. And they hook over these little tabs here. But I'm gonna work on that headliner some more, try and get some more wrinkles out probably before I put the glass in, just in case I have to unloosen something. I was just thinking about it. I'm gonna try and get some more of those wrinkles out. I mean, like I say, doing it yourself, and with these roof lines, they can be tricky. But it's not sagging, it's just got wrinkles in it. All the rods are in right, so that's good. So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the seal around the glass, let it be stretched out, and we might work on this headliner a little bit, and then we'll get ready to put the glass in. So sorry about the noise you might hear in the background, but we're doing some work on the house. So I'm gonna try and speak loudly and clearly as I possibly can. But anyway, we're gonna put this rope here in the seal, because when you get ready to put it in, you got to be able to pull that rope around so you can get the seal to pop into its place. So what I'm gonna do is try and get this rope. It's just regular old nylon rope. We're gonna get it in the seal. Now I didn't glue this seal to the glass. I think I read that Ford said not to. We'll put sealant on it after we get it in the car. We're just going to put some up inside of here. I think on the yellow car I put some between the body and this gap of the seal, just to keep water from running down between the car and the rubber seal. So we'll actually just put some inside this lip. I'll show you guys. It's kind of hard to explain it. But we'll get it situated. Where I can get the rope in there. And this is the thinnest nylon rope I have, so it should do the trick. The bottom's pretty much seat itself into the car. Only thing you gotta worry about is the top part. So you just work the seal, work the rope, I mean, to the seal till you get it all the way around. And then you gotta have somebody lightly pressing down on the glass while you get it in there. They gotta be pushing in, just giving it some light pressure while you pull the rope and get the glass and the seal to sit inside the car. Now I got the rope all the way around. Down here you don't have to worry about it because there's no lip right here. It's just this basically sits on the car. So I'm gonna get a helper and make sure the seal is firm in the glass. I'm gonna get some help, and then we're gonna go ahead and get it on in the car. I'll try and video that. You know, it's gonna be tight, and I gotta put something in there that I can actually sit on because there's no seats in there yet. So I'll get that figured out, and we'll get it in there. So I got the rest of the window sitting there, and I'm just pulling the last bit of the rope to get the seal seated. I couldn't really get the camera in here while I did it. It's a tight fit, working around where the headliner is. But it's coming. Slowly. I guess I'm gonna get back over here. It's coming. It's not easy. A little bit ways to go. Really need some rope, some gloves on pulling this rope. This is where my other rope hung up. I couldn't get it out. That last little piece. Here it comes. It's coming now. Almost. That last little piece right there. It's hung up. Ah, we got it. And there it is. It's in there. Glass is in. back glass is installed. The thing about these back glasses is you gotta make sure you get them sealed just right. And I have went around and sealed it all the way around. I just gotta clean it up around the glass part. But these glass on these cars are known for leaking if you don't get them sealed. So I have put sealant between the glass and the seal. Like I say, kind of oozed out. I gotta just clean that up. And I filled in all the way around the glass, because these things leak if you don't get them just right, and that's what rusts out the trunk and rust out your package tray. It can get down on your floors, your quarters. So I've already installed the trim clips. I think you can see that one. It's kind of got some glue I got to clean up around it. There's one there, and there's one over there. I think it's one here, one here. So you want to install these first before you go putting glue in. You can put a little window well, as you call it, sealant, in, then put your clips in, then go back and put some more. Because I did the 73 Mustang that I have years ago, and put it all together, put the trim on it, didn't test it, had a leak. Had to peel all the trim back off and reseal it. Thought I was gonna have to pull the back glass out, but I didn't. But get you some good tape, put on your paint, because this window well by 3M, it gets on paint and it is a booger to get off when it dries. But what I did, I kind of marked where the molding clips is there. I didn't do it over here because I can see them. I couldn't see them up there. So the stuff needs to sit at least 24 hours. It's been sitting for 8 hours now. So we'll let that finish curing, and then what I'll do is take some water. Probably not the water hose. I'll probably just take a water and like a bucket or a pitcher or something. We'll wet it up real good and we'll look for leaks. I got the quarter glass in and got some adjustment I got to do here on the windows. I just kind of got it in there and bolted in. Still got to do some adjustments though, but adjustments on the front glass and adjustments on the rear. But we got the weather stripping ran all the way around. I didn't glue it because I thought maybe I might have to be pulling it back off for something. So I didn't glue it. I'm going to go back and just put some light glue on there. You don't really have to glue it because it sits inside of the rails of your drip rail molding. So I just didn't glue it. I decided not to, but we got that in. We just got to put this little seal. Once I get everything adjusted, this car's got so many seals on it that goes somewhere up in there, glues down. Now these cars came with roll down back windows and stationary windows. I have the roll down mechanism and I have the inside quarter panels with the holes in it, but I just decided to go back stationary, put the original glass back in it. I don't know if the quarter panels will work with a back seat because they came out of a car with the fold down, I guess you can call it fold down. It's not a back seat, it's like a luggage area. You can fold it up and down. But I'm just going back with the original. We got a quarter glass seal installed, which I don't like these too much. They're aftermarket, I don't know if they're as thick as the originals, and I'll show you. But she closes up nicely. So this is the driver's side. These are kind of thick. I mean, I know aftermarket stuff, it's not going to be like original, but these are thick, and this is the new one. They're kind of flimsy. So hopefully I can get the passenger side to adjust out where this is going to seal. I know I got to adjust the windows, but they basically just slide. They slide in the side of the trim molding on the glass. It has a tab here. Slides in. You will start up here and slide it down, then bend it. I'll show you in a minute. But now these things will come loose on the glass, the trim molding. That glue is old. I know the one on the passenger side did. When I took like a rubber mallet and just kind of tapped it down inside of there, and I had to put a little glue back on it. So hopefully this one don't come loose. But we'll get you set up on a tripod, and we'll get this one out and slide the new one in. Okay, so we're gonna start by removing this old strip here. Really, you can just peel it up out of there. It's got like a metal band that runs through it. This just, that was kind of hard to see, I'm sorry, but this just slides right out of the slot. You might have to open it up a little bit. See, that's already moving. So the glue is worn on that. But what you need to remember, if you pull it off right up in here, make sure you remember how far up it's supposed to go. If you pull it off, you can mark it with a grease pen. Matter of fact, I think we'll do that now. That way we'll know how far up that molding goes. Because it will come off there. Say this glue is old. But that's it there. This old piece of molding. And you want to make sure it's clean. Guess we'll just go ahead and pull it off there. And I'll just put some glue on it. Because once you start wrestling with it, it's going to move around on that window. So you're probably better off just to leave it off. So we'll move the glass out the way for now. So on the molding, it actually just slides in the slot. Now what I had to do on the other side, I took like some oil and I kind of squirted it down inside of the track here. Just so it can slide easy. I guess we can polish that up after we get it installed. We could try it now. Try and get some of that Looks like some mildew or something off of there. Using some mothers and some real fine, I forgot what they call that. That's steel wool. Mother's chrome polish. Get it all everywhere. That looks totally better. Ain't no sense of putting moldy stuff. I mean, you gonna get your fingerprints on it, but it's a lot better if you go ahead and clean it up now. Just look how that turned out. That turned out real good. And we'll do some more cleaning on it after we get it in there. So anyway, it just slides in. Now I had to open this up a little bit. This end, I had to open it up just a little bit for that end of this little tab can bend, because you got to fold it in there. But she's kind of tough to slide. That's why I recommend using some oil. I just took some light oil, kind of put it in there. Like that. And you might have to kind of work it. It's easy when it's on the glass because you got something to grip onto. You kind of work it back and forth and get it. This one went a lot easier than the other one. And you gotta fold that tab down. There's a tab on the seal. It's gotta go through that little V part. I'll get some light closer over here. So you can kind of hold it with your finger. I think I had to use some pliers. But you got to get it started where it go right in there. And try and hold down on it. And it's a lot easier when it's on the glass. You got something to grip onto. She's being stubborn. See if we can push down on it a little bit. Gotta be careful though. You don't want to start. Just get it to stay laid over like that. She's been stubborn. I don't want to slide back out of there either. Might have to open that up. Might just take something and squeeze that open and then knock it back, because trying to get it to slide in that slot almost damaged the other one. Try to open it up a little bit. It gets right there, hangs up, slides back easy. See if we can get it to go all the way through. If we can get it to go all the way through without the, why can't we just turn it sideways and bend it in there? That's the bad part, is getting it to go back in there. We know it'll go in there without it. It's being stubborn. I think it's going now. I don't want to bend that. Has all this rubber built up on the sides. That's what's keeping it from sliding in there. Almost. Oh, we got it. Woo! It's hard getting that in there, but it slid in there. We might take a little hammer and, or these pliers maybe. Get some real. It's easy to do without it on the glass. To bend this down. Once it's in there, it ain't going nowhere, I can tell you that. Fit and finish. I can slide a little bit more. A little bit too late for that. got to be flush. I don't think it's going to go any more than that. Looks like it can go just a little bit. Here it goes. Alright, so it's on there. We good to go. So now what we'll do is clean some of this gunk out of here and glue it back to the window. This is some kind of sealant tape that they was using, but I think I'm just going to put just a tad of glue on top of that. That'll keep it kind of thick, so it won't be moving around. I actually have some weather stripping glue. We could use the window well. It's kind of messy. You do not want to get this stuff on your hands. You don't need to put a whole lot. Just enough. Just enough just to hold it on the glass. So you get this stuff on you and it is a wrap. Only thing to take it off is brake cleaner that I seen and acetone. But you don't want to put that on your car. You put it on your hands. It dries fast. Like I say, this is just 3M auto glass urethane sealant. I hate touching this stuff, I swear. You get it on rubber gloves and it's still alright. Let me go get the glass. Make sure I ain't got any dirt on my hands. See, can we get this glue back on here? I know it's gonna be a messy job. Ah, shoot! It flipped on me. I got glue everywhere. It was going. It was easy to come off, but hard to go back on. Oh man. This stuff is so gooey. It's gonna take me forever to get it off this glass. That was a bad idea. And it's on the trim. Oh, I don't know why I don't want to go back on. Somewhere up here in the middle is all this, the old sealant then broke loose. I'm gonna have to get that out of there. It's back on there, but now I got a hell of a cleanup. So I got glue all on my hands. So let me get all this cleaned up. So we're back working on the 72 Mach 1 once more again, trying to get a lot of stuff wrapped up on it. We're going to put the rear spoiler on the trunk here, because this car was ordered without a spoiler. So we got one from Scott Drake. That is the rear spoiler. It's the aftermarket one, of course. Trying to find the original one. Good luck, and if you do find one, they're very, very expensive. But it comes with a kit. These are your little stands that the spoiler sits on. This trunk here is a Mach 1 trunk, and it's already pre-drilled. I wanted to use it, but it's got a lot of rust in it when we put the car together. It's got some Bondo there. So we went with the original one. So I'm going to have to drill these holes in the original trunk so we can put the little stands or whatever you call it for the spoiler onto the new one. So what I'm going to basically do is try and measure the distance between here and here, from the side, from the front, then straight across. And we're going to put some tape on the other trunk so we won't scratch it. And then we're going to drill it out and hopefully get everything measured right and be able to put the spoiler on the original one. At first, I wasn't gonna run a spoiler on the car, but the car looks so naked without it. I mean, it didn't come with one, but they look so much better when you have a spoiler on the rear. So if I would have thought about it then and decided to do it then, I would have already had the holes pre-drilled before we painted it, and then I won't have to worry about it scratching or you know, stuff like that. But I think if we get enough tape on the trunk around where we're going to work, some paper and stuff, you know, something to keep us from scratching, we'll be all right. So I got stuff all ready so we can do some measurements. So hopefully I get this measured right, because you only can do it one time. And so look like from the back of this thing, got it pretty straight, which the holes are going to be big enough to move around. Look like we got 3 1/4 from the back of each one. Three and a quarter. So let me get a pen and write that down. Three and a quarter. That's from there to there. And then we're going to measure. I guess we can measure straight across, which for now I just want to see what it is. These are a little bit wider than the original ones, but the hose is in the same spot. So that's like 31 1/4 straight across. Then I'm going to measure from the sides, which is 5 1/4. Right at 5 1/4. So come over here and I put 5 1/4. That way. Should be the same on both sides. Which this one is. This one might be a little bit off. This one says 5 3/8. This one's way off. This one says 5 3. Well, this one says 5 somewhere around 5 3/8. So that was kind of off on that side. Let's make sure. We don't want to go wide. So it's like 5 3/4 and a 1/5. I guess that's what you call it. Almost 3/8. Which I think we'll have some wiggle room. This 5 1/4 is going to be way too shy. So I guess we'll put this side at 5 3/8. And the hose is going to be a little bit bigger. I just say it was centered. I think we just need to stick with 5 and well, it's right at 5 3/8 almost. We'll go 5 3/8. Looks like it's 8 inches. Look like we're at 8. Going this way. So we're 8 inches. Yep. So what I'm going to do is just get some tape, and we're going to tape this area off, maybe with some paper, masking paper, and on the trunk. And then I'm going to get the measurements. You can take these little studs off. We'll just kind of set them down on there with our measurements and see how close we can get it. Alright, so we got the hose drill and the trunk lid here on the car. Got it all measured out. It looks like it's pretty close to what the other one is. So we can now peel all this tape off. I drilled these at 5/16. The actual stands have 1/4 inch studs coming off of it, but as the instructions say, drill at 5/16. So we'll do what the instructions say do, which the hose on the other trunk is 5/16. So now we get our gaskets. Which is gonna be fun, sticking it on there. I think we can manage to get it though. The gaskets fly off of there. Guess we can just lay them on there like that. They're gonna fly off anyway. And we'll carefully and the rear spoiler is on. Finally, after marking the hose and measuring twice, finally got it on. She looks pretty good. So I like it better with the rear spoiler anyway. Just something about it makes the car. But now we just got to get the trim that goes around the back glass and the windshield, which I got to paint those. We're going to paint those in black. And waiting on the hood to get done. And then we'll get the stripe kit. I'm going to go with the hockey stripe kit on this one, but yeah, the spoiler's on finally, so she's looking pretty neat. So we're gonna try and get this thing wrapped up hopefully by next spring, interior and everything, and have her on the road. So alright, let's figure out something else to do to it. The stripes are on. Here he goes. Now we just got to come over here, like I said, and do this side in the back. So stay tuned. Alright, so we only did this side tonight. We're going to do the other side another night, but you can see that we got the hockey stripe on all the way at the bottom. We got the Mach 1 on, which we was looking at this picture here for reference. This book right here is a nice book to have. It's got all the Mustangs in it. 73, that's the end of the era. This book tells about all the Fords. So it is an encyclopedia for Mustangs. And there's other cars in here too, I believe. No, I think this is just a Mustang book. I got another book that's got all the Fords in it. But there's your little small Mustang that nobody liked, Mustang 2. Then it goes all the way up to the Fox bodies. The boss is back. Over T-top, what's that, an 84? So this is a real handy-dandy book. Tells about all the Mustangs. 88 twin turbo plans, the 4-cylinder. So anyway, nice book. We got the stripes going down the side here, and so now it's just doing the other side, like I said, and we got to do the trunk. So anyway, that's gonna be it for tonight on the Mustang, and we'll get to the other side. Alright, so finally the old girl's got her stripes on her. So this is the driver's side. So we got the Mach 1 on it. And here's the rear. I especially like the rear. Of course, you've seen the passenger side. So this hurdle is over, or we over this hurdle. So she's looking good. She's looking real good. So now we got to move on to interior, and I got to put the trim around the glass, which I'm going to paint it like I did the drip rails. I got to do the back. I've already modified a later model Mustang seat in there. as you see, I've used the original seat tracks off the original seats and modified these seats in there. So I have a picture of how the seat tracks look, because the original seats don't have a recline and they sit straight up and down. You take a long trip and your back will be killing you once you get out of this thing. Of course, I'm going to change the steering wheel. We got the carpet. The box kind of got wet. Got brand new black carpet, so that'll be going in. And we also got the sound deadening installation we're going to put in. I just got to get the other seat modified with the track so we can put it on the passenger side. But we'll be taking them back out anyway. But I don't know yet. The seats are black. I mean, not the seats, the carpet's black. I'm thinking of getting these upholstered in black, and I like to keep the Mustang pony emblem. The back seats is going to be black. So right now I just want to see how that was going to fit, make sure they weren't too low, and get the seat tracks mounted up in the factory location. So we're good on that. Got a little spot paint I got to do. She's got some little scratches. That's I accidentally nicked it a little bit working on it, but we can smooth that out. But yeah, she's looking like a Mustang now, like a Mach 1. It has the stripes on both sides, and the rear, the hood is done. So trying to bring this book to an end so we can move along with the Trans Am, get this one done. It's been 3 years in the making, but when you're building one of these cars, it just takes time and money, patience. And this car, if you watch any of the videos, the very first video when we got it, she was pretty rough when we dug it out of the container trailer. It needed quarters and floors, and oh man, it's a long laundry list of stuff. We added some stuff to it, like the bottom, I guess you call it the scoop down there, because it was ordered from the factory without it. And we added the spoiler on the back because it was also ordered from the factory without it. So we've added a lot of stuff that wasn't on the Marty report, which I'm going to get. But it just, the cars just look so much better with the spoilers. With the spoiler on the back and the front chin spoiler. That's what it is, chin spoiler. It just looks so much better with all that on there. And also it was ordered without the stripes from the factory. I think the only stripe it had on it was on the trunk that said Mark 1. It didn't even have a stripe, it just said Mark 1 on it. It was a low option factory ordered car. This car belonged to a lady who was the original owner, which I have all the original buyer's sheet where she bought it here in Memphis. And so yeah, like I say, this car came a long way, but she's coming together. So y'all just stay tuned and you'll see a lot more of it. Like I say, we want to get this one finished so we can move on to Trans Am. I didn't want to get into the Trans Am build too much and just keep getting thrown on the back burner, because this one really needs to be finished. I got so much time and money and parts, and I mean it's a long journey. Like I said, I want to thank Jim for doing the paint job. I mean, he did a phenomenal job on doing the paint and the hood stripe. That took a while to do that hood. So but anyway, I'm gonna end it right here. Just a quick update on where we headed with the Mustang. As far as stripes getting put on, and we got some other stuff to do, and then we're gonna move along to the inside. So that's gonna be it right now. Enjoy it, and we'll get back.